Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I am finally doing it. I am vlogging from my car, being one of those cool kids. No, I'm kidding. I'm usually not vlogging from my car, but today is out of necessity. I've been so tired lately and been putting off sleeping. If you guys look back at my vlog, you guys can see how much of indents my eyes have become, like panda eyes, raccoon eyes, from just, staying up late. But I'm actually getting sick, so I need to really catch up with my sleep. So I wasn't going to be creating a video. I'm just going to go home after my work and pass out. If I close my eyes now, I can pass out how it is, even though it's not so comfortable. It's not so comfortable here and it's hot. Anyways, I'm decided to make this video as a substitute for my regular vlogs. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about lessons that I have learned as an entrepreneur. So I talk about buying and selling Pokemon cards, which have my own business. You can call it side gig, whatever you want, but it's something that makes me an entrepreneur, really. Even if it's full-time or part-time job, side gig, you're doing something for your own. So I actually have a lot of experience being an entrepreneur besides buying and selling Pokemon cards. I have created other companies I've mentioned some of these in my vlogs, like the augmented reality arcade machine that I created and displayed at a gaming convention, and then tried to bring it out to the market, which was just a big money dump. So, and I have other adventures that I've been, like YouTube. I have an app, van life app. I did van life for a bit. So I'm someone that strongly believes that even if you're not that old like me, I'm 30, right? I'm about to be 31. It's more about what you have done and experiences that gauges what you know, your knowledge, right? For example, if you work at the same job every day of your life, right, you do pick up experience here and there, but you're pretty limited as to the day-to-day routine, things that you're going to come across, right? So if you get to 60, you worked at this one job every single day of your life, you might not have as much experience as someone that has worked multiple jobs, 10, 12 jobs, done their own thing. So that's kind of how I am. I've done a little bit of everything. So I kind of just want to share my experiences as an entrepreneur. Maybe some of these things will help some of you guys. I am always amazed and shocked at how much influence I have. I'm over here creating videos mainly for fun and try to pass things that I know, but then I get reached out from other people that watch my videos. I'm surprised, first, that there's a lot of people watch my videos. And second of all, that I'm making a big difference. People are like, hey, you've motivated me to buy and sell, to do my own thing, or collecting. You made me get back into collecting, this and that, or inspired me, which, that's kind of why they called us influencers, right? So I just wanted to share some of these things that maybe could help someone. And I'm going to break it down in main points. So the first main point in my experience of being an entrepreneur, and by the way, I'm going to be talking about some money things, financial. This is not financial advice, though. I'm not advising anyone to do any of these things. You should always do your own homework, your own due diligence before you're about to invest something, money or serious time into something, right? At least that's what I would do. So keep that in mind, not financial advice. But the first thing that I have learned being an entrepreneur throughout all these years is fail and fail fast. This was something that I've learned from other people that made it. And they were like, hey, people won't remember your failures, but they'll remember your success. And that is so true. There's a lot of people, like the Alibaba guy, failed 40 times, different companies, but there was one that made him billions, right? And then there's other entrepreneurs that have the same story. But to that, I would add without investing money, your own money. So fail and fail fast so you can try different things. You can see what would work for you, what you want to keep doing. But try to not invest money. It's very tempting to be like, okay, I found this, I found this, I don't know, side niche or hustle, right? Company, whatever, product idea. I found this that I think could make me a lot of money. I'm just going to, why not throw a lot of money into it so that I can get even more out of it? Maybe like Pokemon, right? You're like, okay, I get the idea of flipping Pokemon cards. I'm going to go all in and invest thousands. I would not recommend that, or with any other venture that you want to start off. And a couple things, I have done that, like my arcade machine. I need to open up a window, fams. This is way too hot. You might see me sweating here. Anyways, press the like button, subscribe if you guys enjoy this. I'm taking time out of my break, sweating in this hot car, talking to myself in my break of my job. I'm in front of the apartment complex, and some people are like, what is this guy doing? So really appreciate your support, fam. Drop a like, subscribe. Okay, so that's the first thing. Fail fast so you can figure out what you'd like to do, what would work for you, and don't put money into it. If it's a good idea, then you don't need to have money into it. There's a bunch of really good ideas that I can think of top of my head that you might start off with a little bit, but then it should sustain itself. Like Pokemon card flipping. Let's say you start off with $500 or $100, whatever you have. You should then not invest more, because if it's successful, then you can use what you've just sold, the gains, to then make more. If it's not successful, then throwing more money at it won't make it successful, unless you make different choices as well. But it just becomes more risky. So that's the second thing, or first and second. Fail fast, and don't put much money into it. Now, I do need to side veer a little bit from my point of what I've learned as an entrepreneur, because one reason that I see a lot of people wanting to be entrepreneurs is they want to make crazy money in their lifetime, right? And I have learned through ventures of my own, investing. I have dabbled into investing, and dabbling into investing is very, very, how do I even say it? Not even tricky, because people told me what to do the right way, but I wanted to experience it myself. I'm someone that I will learn better if I make these mistakes and I can see the outcome of my mistakes. So investing and veering off being an entrepreneur. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur and you want to make a lot of money in your life, again, not financial advice, just rambling of a madman. my 2 cents here. You can do that through investing. If you have a normal 9-to-5 job, a lot of people don't know this, but it's been proven throughout people's lifetimes that, for example, there's a story about a janitor that, and people didn't know, and he was just a janitor this whole life, and he died and left $10 million. And people were like, how did this happen? I could swear he was a janitor. But this janitor invested in the market on their free time. Now, when I dabbled into investing in the market, I was younger, right? And there were a lot of hype around different companies that will make you rich quick. Don't do that. Don't fall into any of those things. And this is speaking about crypto as well, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack from people who are like, no, crypto is safe, it's the next thing, this and that. I'm gonna tell you right now, it falls into speculative place. Anything that has very big swings, right? It can go really high one day, really low on another day. They call that volatility, very volatile. You don't want to invest most of your money into that. There is there are times and places that you could put a little bit into it, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But if you just want to, let's say, have a 9 to 5 job and you want to end up with a lot of money at the end when you retire, which is what you should do, you shouldn't bank on Social Security, right? It might even be gone as a program, who knows. Anyways, investing in index funds, I have learned through trial and error, through losing. I have lost over $40,000 in unrealized gains, meaning that I was up in my portfolio, right, 150,000, and once I took it out, I was at a 110, right? So unrealized gains, but I do see that as losses. But after all that, I explored into index funds. So I took a big loss, and I was like, I'm not liking this. This is not for me. If you have time, that might be something for you. If you can stay on top of all the companies, all the trends, this and that. Even then, though, it's still risky. I wouldn't recommend it. But then I went to investing in index funds. And wow, fams, I first of all, I invested in the right time with index funds, because this was after the pandemic, 2021, where prices were still going down. People are like, it's going to shoot back up, this and that. I ended up buying and just gradually buying. That's another thing. Diversify when you're buying. If you just buy all at one point, that's not good. If you just buy when it's going up, that's not good. I only buy when it's going down because I have such strong conviction. And another thing is, what I buy is index funds, or something that follows the stock market, so there's very little volatility. And again, I mentioned this because you don't need to be an entrepreneur to make good money. Like that janitor, if you invest consistently and through the power of compounding interest, if you just saved this money, like that janitor, if they just saved the money that they just could, instead of investing it, that janitor would have had less than $1 million, less than 500,000, really. The power of compounding interest, the power of money. If you invest 100,000, right, and you get 10%, so 110,000 will be the next year. Compounding interest means that now you have 110,000 that's going to turn into more the next year, and more and more and more, right? It builds on top of each other. So when you graph how much you're expecting the returns of just saving and being and having money in a safe index fund, it is exponential. Like after a certain point, the money that from the interest from being in the market will pay you more than you can possibly put in the account, because of something called now I'm spacing it out, compounding interest, right? So side view, this is something that I didn't know. And if I didn't have that strong entrepreneur spirit and I just wanted to make money, I would do that. But I like being in charge. I like being my own boss. I like contributing, making things better. That's why when I created this TCG market, it kind of just like clicked for me. This is what I meant to do with my channel as well, and sharing my experiences. So that's a caveat, strong caveat, that I want you guys to know about. But going back to my entrepreneurial points. So I mentioned failing fast, and not putting a lot of money into it. But another thing that I would recommend is just having a lot of experience doing just anything that you can. If you can take a part-time job, doing something different that you've never done, then I would say go for it. The experience of doing something like that is profoundly going to could change your life. Let me give you guys an example. And I know I'm 14 minutes in my break, fams. I'm gonna give you guys an example. I did this side gig of helping my brother junk removal, right? He started his own company, this and that. And this fed with to the idea that I already had with other side gigs. So it wasn't just based off this one thing. But being involved in that and talking to him and seeing how the ins and outs of that type of business work, it's just like any other type of business. The person at the top has the contacts, the connections, the contracts. When we're talking about businesses and junk removal, the contracts. So you can really just have a junk removal company and never never have to go to a place and remove junk. Because if you're the top person, you would be bidding on contracts and things like that. And then you can then take those jobs and be like, hey, I have this job. Then you can subcontract. You can find someone else to do it for cheaper, and you just made $1,000, $2,000 off that job that you can found someone else to do cheaper. A lot of things in life that are business related work that way, right? Pokémon. Right now, I'm seeing this as part of my self experience as well. I'm seeing that right now I have the connection to buy high-end bulk cards, right? Like we're talking about Buddy Buddy Puff, and I've showed you guys these lots for super dirt cheap, 2 cents a card, and then you sell it for $2-3, right? Not every card, but there are a lot of them, hundreds, that will make it triple, quadruple the money that you paid for. So just by having that connection, I don't even need to do any of the work. I could, and this is something that I didn't even want to do something like this, but it was a need. Someone was like, hey, I need to flip Pokemon cards. Is there a lot that you can sell me to flip? And I was thinking about that. I was like, me selling lots? Actually, I could. I get these 2 cents. You could sell it for $2. I'll sell it to you for 50% off, right? And we're both making money. I make money from my connection. You make money from actually doing the flip. So why do I know that? Because I've been part of a lot of different types of experience of companies, structures. I know the back end of some of these things. So some things, fams, that I have experienced, I have lived through. Another thing that's not anything related to business or just or money really, but it's given me so much life experience, and it's been such a big factor in my life and who I am now, is traveling around the country in my camper van for a year and a half or so. That has profoundly changed me into waking me up as to how other people are in the country, their type of way of living, what they experience through in a day-to-day. National parks as well, some nature is just amazing, and things like that is why I recommend try to do as many things as you can, experience as many things as you can. It will help you not only in your entrepreneurial life, but just in your life in general. All right, fams, that's what I'm gonna leave you guys off with this. I'm way too sweaty. I need to eat on my lunch break, and I also take my lunch break opportunity to send out packages, because when I get out of work, the USPS store is closed, so I have to. All right, fams, again, if you guys appreciated this effort of me taking my time and from eating and lunch break and all this, I really appreciate it if you guys press the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.